Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into a powerful and deeply polarizing story that has stirred up intense national debate and reignited the ever-contentious issues of race, land, and cultural identity in South Africa. The Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF, have once again placed themselves at the center of national discourse, this time with a protest that targeted the controversial Afrikaner settlement of Kleinfontein, just outside Pretoria. And this wasn't just a routine demonstration, it was a bold and symbolic move following a significant legal ruling that could reshape the future of racially exclusive communities in the country. On the 2nd of May 2025, hundreds of red beret-wearing EFF members gathered at the gates of Kleinfontein. Their message was clear: Kleinfontein must fall. They chanted slogans denouncing racial segregation, waved banners demanding economic justice, and called for urgent land redistribution. The protest, led by EFF leaders including Commissar Dunga Leko, condemned Kleinfontein as a relic of apartheid, a bastion of racial exclusivity that has no place in a democratic South Africa. This march wasn't a standalone political gesture. It followed a landmark ruling by the Pretoria High Court that declared Kleinfontein's racially exclusive policies illegal. For years, Kleinfontein has operated as a self-proclaimed cultural enclave, where only Afrikaners who speak Afrikaans and identify with Christian values are allowed to settle. But the city of Tshwane took a firm stance against this practice, arguing it violates South Africa's constitutional commitment to non-discrimination. The court sided with the city, delivering a heavy blow to Kleinfontein's legal legitimacy. To understand the weight of this ruling, we need to examine Kleinfontein's background. Founded in the early 1990s, as South Africa transitioned out of apartheid, Kleinfontein was envisioned as a haven for Afrikaner culture. It spans 900 hectares and houses over 650 homes. Its founders and residents argue it's a necessary space for cultural preservation, a place where Afrikaners can live according to their traditions, language, and religious beliefs. But critics argue it's simply apartheid by another name. And it's this very critique that the EFF has seized upon. To them, Kleinfontein represents a blatant rejection of the ideals of a united, non-racial South Africa. It's not just about one settlement. The EFF views enclaves like Kleinfontein as part of a broader system of racial and economic exclusion that still haunts the country. According to the party, these spaces maintain white privilege in a post-apartheid society and actively block black South Africans from accessing land and opportunities. But not everyone agrees. Supporters of Kleinfontein argue they are exercising their constitutional rights to cultural association and self-determination. They insist the community is not about hate or exclusion, but about protecting a way of life that they believe is under threat. For many Afrikaners, Kleinfontein is a symbol of survival in a rapidly changing and often hostile political landscape. They point to high crime rates, political instability, and anti-white rhetoric as reasons to cling to cultural enclaves for safety and identity. This clash between cultural preservation and constitutional non-racialism has fueled fierce debate across the country. Social media has been flooded with opinions, some praising the EFF for confronting racism head-on, while others accuse the party of political grandstanding and deepening racial divisions. It's a reminder that, even 30 years after apartheid, South Africa's racial wounds remain raw. The protest has also put renewed focus on another community often mentioned in the same breath as Kleinfontein, Orania. Like Kleinfontein, Orania is a whites-only Afrikaner town in the Northern Cape, with its own schools, currency, and even local government. The EFF has long criticized Orania as an affront to national unity, and their latest statements suggest it may be the next target in their campaign against racially exclusive enclaves. But the real question is, what does this moment mean for South Africa as a whole? The country is in a state of constant negotiation between past and present, between the memory of apartheid and the promise of a truly inclusive democracy. Land, culture, and race remain at the heart of this struggle. Who gets to own land? Who gets to decide what culture is worth preserving? And can a nation built on reconciliation ever reconcile communities that choose to live apart? From a legal standpoint, the Pretoria High Court ruling could pave the way for more aggressive enforcement of non-discrimination laws. If upheld in future cases, it could challenge the very foundation of communities like Kleinfontein and Orania. Municipalities and civil society groups may now feel empowered to take legal action against what they see as institutionalized exclusion. But politically, the issue is even more volatile. The EFF's confrontational style often draws criticism, but it also resonates with millions of South Africans who feel that real transformation is still far off. The party's demand for land redistribution isn't just about symbolism, it taps into deep frustrations over poverty, inequality, and the slow pace of reform. For many Black South Africans, settlements like Kleinfontein are daily reminders that economic power still lies in the hands of a privileged few. Still, others warn that radical confrontation could lead to greater division. They argue that a more effective approach would be dialogue, negotiation, and community engagement. But even that assumes both sides are willing to come to the table, and right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. So, where does South Africa go from here? One thing is certain, the battle over spaces like Kleinfontein is far from over. The court ruling, the EFF's protest, and the fierce public debate all signal that we're entering a new chapter in the country's ongoing struggle with its apartheid legacy. It's a chapter that forces us to ask, how do we build an inclusive future without erasing cultural identities? And can we truly heal if some communities still build walls to keep others out? As the EFF vows to keep up the pressure and communities like Kleinfontein dig in their heels, the rest of South Africa watches closely. Because this isn't just about one protest, or one town. It's about the soul of a nation still trying to define itself. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Kleinfontein, the EFF's protest, and the future of cultural enclaves in South Africa? Let's get the conversation going. See you next time.